Good morning, everybody. This is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios, and today I'm coming to you from the Great North Walk here in Sydney, Australia. This is a beautiful trail that goes for hundreds of kilometres, and it starts quite near my house, so I'm really blessed to have that. But I haven't been on this trail in quite a while. You can sort of see a valley extending down there, and beautiful trees all around. This is a great place to sort of come and just hike and renew the spirit and just build up that creative capital that gets lost when you sort of spend so long indoors in front of the computer. It's one of those things that when you start working for yourself, you think, I'm going to take lots of days off and do this kind of stuff, but you never do. Especially when you do something you love, you spend so much time every free hour working on it that you don't often take enough time for yourself, and especially with little kids as well. It's hard to get away. But here I am, and I've been hiking for a couple of hours now and stopped for a bite to eat and to tell you guys all about Swords and Sandals Immortals. Of course, that's what this video is all about. The latest dev diary for Swords and Sandals Immortals focuses on the talent tree and skills and leveling up and all that sort of stuff. This is one of those things that is really straightforward. In theory, the gladiator goes and fights, you win a fight, you get experience points, press the level up button, bam. So I've built all that part, and your gladiator, it starts, he's sleeping in his campfire. Next to his campfire, it would be a bit hot to sleep at a campfire. Next to it, and all of a sudden he wakes up, and then stands up, boom, He-Man style, lightning bolt, and then all of a sudden it says, gladiator, you've grown more powerful. And you get to put some points into ability scores, strength, intelligence, all the rest. But the next screen is the talents. Now, originally, I wasn't sure what was a talent, what was a skill, and in previous games, especially in Swords and Sandals 2 Redux and 5 Redux, talents and skills were basically the same thing, but some were sort of passive things like, extra 5% health per point, or a more active skill like Mighty Smash that does, double damage, that kind of thing. But I've decided to separate those two things. So when you level up your talents, they are always going to be passive abilities. And that might be, extra shock resistance or bonuses when fighting in the cold, that kind of thing. And there's going to be 6 different talent trees. Count them. 6. 5. 1. Because, of course, this is ostensibly Swords and Sandals 6. And I thought 6 would be good. So we've got Warfare, Arcane, and Theatrics, being the sort of charisma tree and all the taunts and guitar stuff and everything. You've also got Survival, which is all about defensive techniques and so on. Adventure, which is more sort of the meta game around the combat, the potential. I'm not sure what's going to go in there yet, but it'll be things like mining, gem cutting, sort of crafty sort of stuff, and of course being able to steal items from the shops, that kind of stuff. But there's also 2 more trees. There is the Robotics Tree. Actually, 1 more tree. I can't remember if I've done 5 or 6. Robotics. This is a special tree that is not available to the player unless you're an automaton. But there may be a way later in the game to unlock that tree. And that sort of is all sort of upgrades for your robotic characters. And because the automatons play quite differently to the regular characters. So we have 6 talent trees, and every one of those has, at the moment, 12 skills that you can level up, and you can put multiple points into each one. But I wanted those to be passive skills because I didn't want all the fun abilities in the game, the skills, so they're talents, sorry. I didn't want the skills to be tied to a tree. So I want you to be able to go to an enchanter or a blacksmith or that kind of thing, and I want you to be able to go, I'm going to learn this skill. So you could learn the Mighty Smash or the Barbarian, what was that? Barbarian Storm, that kind of thing. Or enchanter skills like Fireball, Lightning Bolts, that kind of thing. I felt like it's much easier to be able to create skills on the fly and just add them later and later and later and have more and more skills in the game that aren't tied to talent trees, by making it so you go to the shop and you learn those skills, but you learn the talents when you level up. And I thought that was a kind of good differentiation point between talents and skills. And I haven't worked out what the sort of requirements for skills will be. It'll probably be either just purely level based or it may be stat based, but I'm thinking level based because you sort of get enough of a bonus from having, intellect and synergies with fireball and magic skills and that kind of thing already. So if you have it so only people with 20 intellect can cast fireballs, then that might make for sort of a lack of variety of character. I want sort of fighters to still be able to get the fireball skill and that kind of thing, but it may not be very effective because they're low intellect. So I'm sure I'll work something out, but most likely it'll just be purely level based. So once you're level 5, you'll be able to unlock fireball, and then there'll be sort of like tiers of fireballs as well. So like dire fireball, hell fireball, that kind of thing, molten death, all part of the fire skills. And how this ties into the actual gameplay is, in the trailer you can see you've got like arcane skills, warfare tree, and theatrics. That's gone. Now you just have one radial bar, which will have like all your move around and everything, and then a use skill button on that radial bar that will allow you to use skills that you assign to that. So the first 12 skills or whatever will automatically go on there once you've bought them. Like, so once you've bought Leap of Lions or Barbarian Storm or Fireball or whatever it is, they will go automatically on that second radial bar. But once you have more than 12, they'll go into a pool next to that. And at any time you'll be able to assign these skills and move them on and off that radial bar. So you can kind of just drag things around as you want. If you want the fireball to be at the top, if you want the Leap of Lions to be on the side, that kind of thing. If you have, say, Hell Fireball and Dire Fireball and 2 or 3 different fireball spells or 2 or 3 different lightning bolt spells, that kind of thing, you'll also be able to assign them to the tree. And each one has its own cooldown, of course, but you might be a fire mage specialist that decides that they have 4 different fireball spells, one after the other after the other. Each has its own individual cooldown. And you'll just be able to go to your character tree panel and turn those on and off and assign them to your skills as you will. So there'll be a lot of a strategy element in that as well. Now, to get this happening is a lot of work, and I've had to go through and first of all name all those skills, and that's a work in progress. They're subject to change, but at the moment we've got about 70 talents and about 20 active skills, but there's going to be a lot more active skills coming up as well. So all of these skills have their own icons and everything, and I'm not drawing those icons, of course. I'm using like asset packs and so on, because there are so many. It'd be very expensive to sort of commission unique ones for those, but they look pretty cool. They're sort of your standard, World of Warcraft style colorful icons, and there's lots of them, and I think they'll fit in quite nicely with the talent trees and everything. This is something that will, I think, I'll be working on all through the game until the game is done. I'll be sort of tweaking and adding skills and talents and so on, but the actual talent tree system and level up system should be ready to go, I'm going to say, in about 2 or 3 weeks, all going well. And when it is, I'll get a video out and you guys can see it. But that's it from the trail today. I'm going to get back, finish this hike, and then get back to do some coding and wrap this video up. Several hours later. Actually, a full day later, because it's Friday morning. The hike didn't go all day, of course, but I didn't get a chance to wrap up the video yesterday. So here we are. I hope you enjoyed the outdoor adventure of the Great North Walk. You can see quite a lot of that trail in previous videos. If you go and search Game Dev Hikes on my channel, you can see hours and hours of me walking and talking game dev while I walk that very same trail. It's a beautiful trail, and it just really gives me so much inspiration and ideas for my games and so on. Yesterday's video, or the video you're watching now, about skill trees, it really it's an interesting milestone for the game, because once you put skill trees in, bam, the game just explodes. It really does. And it's going to be so many interesting strategies and tactics that come out of these skill trees. So I'm very curious to see how they how they go in the game. There's always an optimum path. Everyone always figures out the most premium skills and so on, but I want to try and put as many different skills and have such a variety of skills that there are many different viable gladiator builds in the game, and that's very important to me. Also hugely important, and that is a very smooth segue, are the Patreon supporters who have really pleasantly surprised me as I've brought the Patreon back in the last few weeks. I want to thank you for your support, and here's a quick shout out to Jandaku Chanahi, Noah Gudajan, Nico, XUp Omega, Ilya Gudovic, John Stayscal, Jeffro of Hex 3D, Davi, Ruri, Crazy Ant, Buddy X, and welcome to Michael Loader. Thank you, guys. You are the best. I salute you. And you know who else salutes you is our favorite armorer. All right, go away. Get down. Get down. All right, that's it for today. If you enjoy the shenanigans of the Whiskeybarrel Studios channel, then please, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when you'll see more of my videos. Next week, I'll be talking more of the skill trees, talent trees, and hopefully I'll have something to show you guys. That would be cool. Until next time, my friends, bye for now.